Hi, sorry for this being late. I've been pretty busy the last few weeks and haven't gotten proper time to fully record this and get to this. So sorry for the inconvenient lateness from me. Here I am, AEW Forbidden Door 2025 from London at the O2. Um, let's just say one thing straight. This should be the last for the Endor. This is a AEW New Japan show supposed to be, but there was barely any involvement from New Japan. Like, for the most part, this was just your standard AEW pay per view, not Forbidden Door. Like when you think of Forbidden Door, you would think of matches pitting wrestlers from different companies pitting against each other, stuff like that. This barely felt like Forbidden Door, and this and looking at it, they seem to be almost no reason to do a Forbidden Door. Like almost no reason. So yeah, but I think the one thing you can count with AEW is that the pay-per-views will be worth the time. And I don't think it was even at the standards of what AEW pay-per-views have been this year. I still think this was a pretty good show for most part. Like, not even, not overall outstanding stuff, but there was some pretty good stuff on this show. And let's just get with one match out of the way is the tag team match between the reunited Cope and Christian. They're finally back together and they are taking against Kip Sabian and the returning Killstreet Luchasaurus. Sorry for my pronunciation wrong, but Luchasaurus was the last minute replacement for Nick Wayne, who seemed to suffer an injury. And that affected things, and we got what we got in this match. Um, this was fine. I think this was needed to be. This was just so we can see Cope and Christian get back together. And it's almost a bit of a shame that they kind of rushed this reunion. Like, I feel like on this show should have been the when Cope and Christian should interfere in the triple threat tag team title match and then fully reunite the next Dynamite. I think that would have been much better route to go than just this hastily together tag match. But yeah, this match was more than nothing more than to see Cope and Christian getting back in the ring. So yeah. So Cope and Christian won here, and yeah, there was nothing much you need to see rewatch. I just love the O2 singing metaling inspired out of it. That was just warmed my heart. But yeah, this was not bad. Not I don't think, but this was perfectly competent wrestling match. This was at least competent. This was a fine match. Next up for the TNT Championship, Hiromu Takahashi challenging against the champion, the Protostar, Kyle Fletcher. He would like to be pronounced by the full thing. This was pretty good match. Um, I mean, this was, this had this match kind of lacked the drama of this, because you knew Kyle Fletcher wasn't losing here after so soonly winning the title, and it's so funny how I uploaded the All In review and talking about how I still thought even with losing, Kyle was still gonna get a TNT title. On the same day I dropped that video, Kyle Fletcher won that TNT title against Dustin Rhodes on Collision that day. By the way, I fucking love that Kyle Fletcher Dustin Rhodes match. But yeah, that was quite fun to see. But yeah, this was fine. This was again solid. Like like all this needed to do was a strong title defense by the protostar Kyle Fletcher, and he did just that. And I think if he does not win the world title within at least 3 years, then there's something wrong with the people that book and produce these shows. He's your guy that needs to be your future, at least for this company. So yeah, that's my take on that. And he retained the TNT title against Takahashi in a pretty good match. The TBS Championship, as Mercedes Moné defending against Alice Window, Basila, and Persphone. Um, this was a solid match. It I kind of got concerned, especially with foreign matches. It can get cluttery and not much going on in ring wise. But but this was but they made it work here somehow. And the thing that got me was the salesman, they did everything to make all those three roommates good, like Persephone, Lucilla, and Alice Window. She bumped and worked and sell her ass off for all those three. And one thing that I always seem to give Mrs. Monet credit for, as I said in previous reviews, she can make that crowd root the opponent against her. No matter, and that's any opponent she has. She always make that person more relatable by the crowd and get the crowd behind that person against her. And yeah, that's totally commendable on Mercedes. And she did just that. And yeah, Basila kind of quite stood out. She was quite pleasant this, and I hope she will get more future opportunities in AEW, because they have something her. So that was that. She she got, and Mercedes when they retained the TBS title in a little fun TBS title match. So yeah. Then we got for the New Japan World title, as Zack Sabre Jr. defends against Nigel McGuinness. I like didn't even need. I don't even think like this thing anything but like towards anything for the future stories, but this was exactly the right match to have it this. It was in London and it was in the right type of crowd that was going to go really rowdy for both of these guys. And yeah, this was pretty fun. Like, this wasn't like a technical masterpiece like it would have been, or it would have been if this was like, if Nigel was like the mid 2000s RH version of him. But this was fun. This was fun. And the crowd really loved them, them, Zack Sabre Jr. and Nigel McGuinness. And Nigel has been really good. Like, for a guy that hasn't been doing this full time for like almost 15 years. He still looks really damn good for his age, and yeah, like, and and he hasn't pretty much embarrassed himself. So this was another pretty good match for the IWGP World title, and Zack Sabre Jr. retain here in this fun match. Um, then the tag team title match between the triple threat tag team between the Hurt Syndicate defending the titles against Brodillo, Brody King, and Bandito, and Cash and Das FTR. Um, this was this was ooh, this was weird in that it started off good. It was started off okay, but kind of got sloppy and it kind of became a focus here. And kind of overbooking this didn't help matters any, but apparently this was done so Hershey could lose the title without having to lose straight up or getting pinned straight up. If you have read reports of Hershey apparently not refusing to take any losses, apparently this was the main reason why this triple threat match even transpired. And you can tell. You can kind of tell. So, yeah, this was not good. Like, like, and like, oh, this was not that really good. And the finish was kind of confusing. Like, it's like, was it a botch or they botched on purpose? Like, I don't really know what happened, but the finish kind of confused me. And then you got the case of anarchy interfering and all that shit. And this kind of got messy. Bro, their winning was kind of cool because it kind of rewards them for the work they done in the tag team tournament prior to Forbidden Door, and Tony God seems to pay off the momentum that these two kind of have as a team, like they paired these two things up just randomly at that title tournament, and they seem to be gelling really well together as a team. So yeah, I kind of wish this would have been when Cope and Christian would interfere and reunite and then get the FTR Cope and Christian match. But nonetheless, bro, they are your new AEW Tag Team Champions. So the match started off decent, but then it got really clunky and sloppy, and the fans were bad. But the decision of Brodeo winning was kind of cool. So yeah. Next is for the AEW Unified Championship. Kazuchika Okada defending against Swerve Strickland. Um, this was the most let's write off Swerve Strickland match. That's why I'll wrestle off a TV match that I've probably seen in a long time. Like, if you could tell them, this was pretty much let's get Swerve off of TV and make it clear as it is. As it was, the match was still good, but yeah, like not the most spectacular match, and it's kind of like and like this wasn't the classic like you thought it would, you would hope it would be, but at least Swerve Strickland sell the injury angle, made the injury tormentiscus angle look really good. At least he sold the angle very well. So there was that, and Kazuchika Okada pretty won decisively here. And yeah, like this was another strong victory by Kazuchika Okada. Successfully defending a unified title against Sorcerer. And Sorcerer doesn't lose everything, losing to Kazuchika Okada here. So yeah, it doesn't hurt Swerve. And apparently he's been off. He had successful surgery, so I hope he comes back very, very well here. So yeah, so there was that, and yeah, and then after the match, Warlord made his AEW return and seems to be joining the Don Callis family, which I know if having half of your heel roster being paired together in a fashion is the best way to go about this. And this just felt like another body being thrown into the sand. It's pretty much all this was. And with that, I just couldn't care about Wardlow being back because of that. Honestly, I just couldn't care. So yeah, so there was that. For the AEW Women's World Championship, Timeless Stone is defending against the Ring of Honor Women's World Champion Athena. Man, like I felt like would this be a shorter match? This should have been much more impactful, explosive match. But we really didn't get that. It felt like as a match, it felt like a match that was they were trying to slow blow stuff. And once they were about to get to second high gear, it was over. Like, I don't know, like, I don't know what happened. The two girls seem to work their asses off here. I'm not gonna dispute that. But, like, at this point of the show, this should have been a much more hard hitting match. And it really wasn't for some reason. Like, I was kind of shocked of how Tony Storm retained. I knew she would retain. I did kind of love the chicken wing finish. I think she should kind of use that as a finish quite often, honestly. It kind of fits for her character. But, like, the match ended so suddenly, kind of put a damper on this thing. This wasn't, like, bad, but, like, this kind of felt to blow the roof off. And honestly, it was kind of disappointing here. So, yeah. Tony Storm retained here in a decent match, but kind of a disappointing one. Then we get for the AEW World Championship. Heyman Adam Page defending against still the Casino Gauntlet match contra winner MJF. I don't think this wasn't as good as the Revolution match they had the earlier, but this still had great heat and to this point the best match of the show. Like these two deliver the goods on a AEW World Title match on a pay per view. These two deliver the real goods here. So there was that. Um, I will say that the finish, the referee shit was pretty fucking goofy. Like MJF, they were trying. I know what they were trying to get at here, but like, it just looks so comically goofy. Like MJF hit hit Heyman Page with the dynamite ring, or I think it was the dial. Goes to pin him. The ref counted at three. But as soon as the he was about to hit the three, Heyman Adam Page's left foot was right on the left rope, and the ref counted the three, still counting the three, and the ref just still laid down there, like like he counted the three. Heyman Page left angle was still on the left rope. He knocked down, and there was like no wind bell, and MJ was still thought he won. And then out come Matt Briscoe, and then as the ref broke off, he finally saw Heyman Page's like it looks so comically over the top. It was so silly. That almost took me out of the match, but I think afterwards it kind of got real good as the crowd was really hot for those ending sequences. So yeah, like AJ tried to hit every hit book he could get and could still not let the cowboy down here until Heyman Page, without the referee, hits the counter in the face of AJ and hits a bust out every to retain the world time. Great match. You could have not done the silliness with a referee. You could have not overdone the soul silliness with a referee still being down out there. Some wrestler's foot was on the left rope. They could have not done that, but this was still great. Definitely what you hope out a Heyman Page MJF World Title match. So yeah. Then is the Lights out steel cage match. Darby Allin, the Golden Lovers, Kenny Omega and Kota Ibushi, and Hiroshi Tanahashi in his retirement tour and his final match in London. And Will Ospreay against the Death Riders, Shawn Michaels, Claudio Castagnoli, the Jumbas, Matt and Nick Jackson, and Gatekeeper. And yeah, this was. I do think this was. I kind of wish it would have been Blood God Smash a little bit so it would have gone more suspenseful, and I don't know why they didn't do it. But this was everything you would hope it would be out of a Lights Out Steel Cage match. Like, like, and I think the best thing you can say is I didn't feel the match kind of overstay its welcome. Like they did everything what they needed to do with this match. Like there was a lot of carnage, a lot of gore, chaos. The fork spot with John Monster over Darby Allin's right here was so vomit juicy that you can't help not look away from it. But yeah, like this was totally violent, but in a great way, and like more more chaos here, and this shout out to Will Ospreay for even doing this match with even the bad neck, and you can tell that the atmosphere being in London, his home country, and may have been a show in his home country had to help his light up his mood, knowing he's gonna go away for a very long time with the neck surgery that he's going to have. So yeah, and to still able to do what he would do in this match shows why he's still one of the best in the world to do it. So yeah, and it was kind of nice to see Tanahashi get the win in his last big match, one of his last few AEW matches, and his last match in the UK. So that was cool. The baby faces won, and then the Death Rider murder Will Ospreay to ring him off on TV while he can recuperate with his next surgery. And yeah, like this obviously felt like I don't. Well, this was effective of writing off Will Ospreay. I don't think it was kind of like necessary. I think only because Will Ospreay has been telling people he's probably gonna get the neck surgery anyway. I think the fans already know that, so you didn't need to do a whole lot. And